Welcome back to another episode of the Real Health Podcast. We're in the month of May, and the focus of the month will be on hormones, hormone balance. We're going to talk about the thyroid, the female sex hormones, male sex hormones, fertility outcomes. We're going to talk through testosterone optimization, cycle balance, all things related to hormones. Hey, the big thing this month of May, get your calendar out right now, or get your phone out. If you're driving, just put it in auto drive. Everyone's got that. And look at your calendar. May 27th, Tuesday, May 27th, 6:30 p.m. Jump online with us, and we are going to do our fertility workshop. So our masterclass this month is all about infertility. We're going to talk about why cycles are disruptive, where hormone imbalances come from, what you can do to improve fertility outcomes. If you're struggling with fertility, or if you know someone struggling with fertility, or miscarriages, multiple miscarriages, or you've had a child and then you can't get pregnant again, just so you know, it is not just a female issue. Research shows it is just as much of a male or both male and female. And so our infertility masterclass is going to be May 27th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you go to our Linktree and Instagram and register for our masterclass. If for some reason you can't make it, that's fine. At least if you register, you get the link to watch the recording. This is a free masterclass that we do through Zoom, and it is high value content, completely free. We don't charge for it. We could charge so much for it. We don't. It's completely free. Jump on, and it will bless you. I promise you, it will bless you. All right, we're going to start this journey off on talking about hormones associated with low energy. So the question is, do you have low energy? Do you suffer with low energy? Do you feel yourself fatiguing throughout the day, or when you wake up, you don't have energy, or you crash at 12, 2? Low energy and fatigue is not designed. It's not your design. You're designed to live an optimal life, healthy and abundant. John 10:10 promised us to live life abundantly. So full of energy, full of wisdom, full of vitality. But we aren't living that life. We are going to be looking at hormones as a factor associated with why we're not living that life. One of the biggest hormones associated with, so I'm going to give you four hormones. I'm going to give you four hormones associated with low energy. The first one we have to look at, and we do this through lab testing, but you look at your cortisol rhythm. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and it regulates energy and metabolism. That's what it does. That's its function. And an imbalance of it, whether it's chronic stress, is usually the cause. And the imbalance is that it causes both high and low cortisol. And over time, it leads to fatigue, where you're just kind of flatlined in your cortisol production. Cortisol should be naturally highest in the morning and slowly taper throughout the day. If you drop too early, you're going to fatigue midday. If you don't get enough upon awakening, well, then you're going to wake up tired. Cortisol rhythm, or circadian rhythm, is really important to the health of your body, and you can test that. You take samples of saliva throughout the day to look at your cortisol levels. But cortisol is definitely a hormone you have to look at when it comes to assessing energy production and hormone health. Number two is you got to look at the thyroid. Is the thyroid imbalanced at all? Is it deficient? Is there a possibility for autoimmune hypothyroidism? The function of the thyroid is to regulate metabolism, but it's associated with heart rate, energy production. So if you notice like low energy with maybe like irregular beats of the heart, hey, make sure you get your thyroid checked. An imbalance is often leads to low energy, brain fog, and weight gain. So look at your thyroid, and not just TSH, T4, and T3. Make sure you're looking at the antibodies associated with your thyroid. We will talk about this more at our masterclass. Number three, the next hormone you have to look at is insulin. Insulin's like a storage hormone. it manages your blood glucose and energy levels. And we look at insulin, and insulin resistance is obviously it's type 2 diabetes, but it's common in its early stages where we're maybe pre-diabetic, and insulin resistance causes energy crashes, brain fog, and fatigue. Why? Because if we can't get energy into the cell to be utilized for our cells for energy production, that's an insulin issue a lot of times. And insulin, when elevated a long period of time due to blood glucose dysregulation, that is the core issue with insulin resistance, is we become more resistant to insulin the more we produce. So we'll talk about some solutions here in just a second. And then the number 4, the last one, is melatonin. Melatonin regulates your sleep-awake cycles. And so if you have poor sleep quality, you're going to have poor energy levels throughout the day. You can look at your melatonin levels. You can test that. I like using a Dutch test for that. When we look at melatonin, are we getting blue light exposure at night? Are we not getting deep sleep? Is the room not cool enough, right? These are some big issues that are blocking melatonin production. But melatonin has to be assessed. Those 4 are the big that I look at, the big 4 when it comes to energy production associated with hormones. So let's just say, hey, that's me. I have low energy. I don't feel great during the day. I don't wake up with energy. I crash at night. I crash midday, whatever it is. What 4 do you look at? You look at melatonin, insulin, thyroid, and cortisol. Now, what do we do about it, right? Let's just say you didn't test, which you should, but you're like, I don't have a practitioner in my area. Well, here's my suggestions. Here would be some recommendations to start on immediately. The first one is balance your blood sugar. Balanced blood sugar will lead to better insulin sensitivity. It'll reduce cravings and reduce crashes. If you want to reduce cravings and reduce crashes, you got to balance your blood sugar. Balanced meals, protein, fat, and fiber. Protein, fat, and fiber. Protein has to be with every meal. Fat, healthy fats have to be with every meal, and fiber has to be with every meal. Those 3 things will slow down your blood sugar spikes. Okay, it'll regulate blood sugar after the meal. Number 1, balanced blood sugar. If you want more information, go to our website under the resources tab and go to blood sugar balancing. We have a guide fully dedicated to balancing blood sugar. Number 2, sleep optimization. You got to optimize your sleep. When you sleep at night and recover and rest, then you have more energy during the day. If you're not sleeping well, you are not going to feel and function at your finest. How do you optimize your sleep? Cut blue light off, right? Don't consume caffeine 8 hours before bed. Sleep in a cold, dark room. Remove any type of like stimulants an hour before bed, 2 hours before bed, right? That could be work. That could be computers. Could be noise. That could be kids. Put them to bed. Chill out. But establish a healthy sleep routine. And again, we did a sleep podcast, so you can refer back to that episode. Some options for supplementation as we improve sleep. Melatonin, magnesium. Melatonin, magnesium. Those are my big 2. Melatonin, magnesium in dark, cold room is usually going to fix most sleep problems. Okay? If it's beyond that, it may be, sleep apnea issues, breathing problems, oxygenation at night. Hey, this is something you definitely want to get checked. All right, so that was number 2. Number 3, in balancing hormones, we have to move without burning out. Movement without burnout. Movement without burnout. What most people want to do is want to go to the gym and just crush themselves because they feel good. Like it does. It releases dopamine. It releases actually cortisol, and you feel good. The problem is you're burning out as a mom or as a dad. So that 5 a.m. hardcore class is great, but are you fueled? Did you sleep? Okay, or what do your hormones look like? Is your adrenal system healthy enough to handle it? Most people, if they just slow down, decrease the load, decrease the volume, they'll do much better. Endurance training is great. Too much long distance without proper recovery is not. Strength training is our focus. Strength training, walking, mobility work. Gosh, that's the key for longevity right there. Okay. Overtraining will always lead to high cortisol levels. Stress hormones lead you to belly fat and burnout. Nobody wants that. Number 4, we've got to reduce our stress levels and support our nervous system. The nervous system is the primary driver to your stress response. And so chiropractic care is one of the best ways to influence how well your body's handling stress. Get adjusted. The more stressful seasons, the more you should be getting adjusted. Okay, an adjustment, a chiropractic adjustment delivered to correct a subluxation will break stress patterns. Now with that, you can add adaptogenic herbs. You can do breath work like box breathing, add prayer and meditation and Bible reading to it. And all of those are significant in their ability to help stress reduction. But when you look at stress, nervous system should be the primary focus. Not just removing stress, but helping the body handle stress, being stress resilient. And the last one is that you must test and track. So what does that mean? In order to really know how you feel, like what's normal, you got to look at your hormones. Because if you're like, hey, I don't feel great, and then you start doing all these things, but you don't know what your insulin resistance score is, you don't know what your thyroid hormones are, you don't know what your cortisol levels are, you don't know what your estrogen, progesterone, testosterone levels are, you don't know what your DHEA levels are. If you don't know what your hormones are, then the problem is when you start working on them and you feel better, and then you look at it and be like, hey, they're within range. Were they in range before? Were they really low before? Were some of them high? How do you know? You got to test, you got to track, you got to monitor, okay? So that's my next suggestion. You got to test, track, and monitor. For the month of May, we're doing a 10% off all hormone tests in the office. You don't have to live here. We will ship you a salivary kit to collect at home. But if hormone testing is something that you want to do, feel free to reach out to the office and we'll get that hormone test sent over to you. All right. When thinking about energy and fatigue, balance those blood sugar levels, reduce your stress levels, test and track your hormones. Get sleep optimization. These things are essential to helping you perform at your highest. Don't forget that May 27th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is our fertility workshop for males, for females, for people thinking about conceiving in the future. It'll be a great workshop to learn about hormones. Thanks as always for listening to another episode of the Real Health Podcast. Our passion is to add value to your healthcare journey. Anything that we do, we want to do it within a community to help as many people as possible. Thanks for listening to episodes of the Real Health Podcast. If you could subscribe, and you can share, it would help our mission to reach as many people with real health that produces real results for real people.